the black and gray market anarchists, and then this explosive live stream, we're gonna. Well, I'm gonna wait for people to show up here, so since they're gonna be playing anyways, I'm gonna have to say anyways. To fight the Supreme Court taking away of our constitutional rights, or taking away our freedom to do what we want in our body, we, especially for reproductive and for LGBT people, including women and trans men and non-binary people, we must engage in counter economics. Let's do it! Agora! Anarchy! Action! Woo! So, let's catch up what happened in. I'm a little rusty because I don't do a video in a while. But anyways, the Supreme Court it was leaked from the Supreme Court that Roe versus Wade was going to be overturned, and then not only the leak showed that they're planning on overturning it, the Supreme Court is also in the same report says complains about laws that protect same-sex marriage, and also maybe even the sodomy laws that were declared and that was declared unconstitutional. And I remember the cases for that banned sodomy laws, but like it was my state who tried to ban it. So immediately, because I live in Texas, okay, whatever. Because I live in Texas, my rights are on the chopping block. Okay, Ashley, whatever. So what do I do? What are we doing when our liberties in the chopping block? We fight back. When resistance becomes when resistance becomes when resistance becomes the law, resistance becomes the duty, or whatever how you phrase it. So basically, what is counter economics? Counter economics is anything that's peaceful, any peaceful human action, anything that's non-violent, anything that we are able to do without impacting on like other adults or even child or whatever liberty we should do. And because the state is going to impose, especially Texas, but also the federal government, the state, it's going to impose their extremist, fundamentalist, anti-choice things on our throat. We have to embrace counter economics. And I'm going to announce a new beginning of my channel as Black and Green Market Anarchist, to basically announce the beginning of my Mutuals Agoras rebrand my channel. Now, what is agorism? Agorism, not to be confused with anarcho-capitalism, is an economic, political, or anti-political philosophy developed by Samuel Edward Konkin III, and its point is to God, I'm so rusty at this. Its point is to, again, use black and green markets, not red markets. Red markets would be like assassinations, murders, like things like all that bloody stuff. Black markets are like or gray markets can be like selling weed without taxes in like California because it's legal there, but again, it's not officially. So when you operate outside this official state sanction, and an economic state for your economic thing, it is counter economics. By buying a haircut without a license, you are engaging in counter economics. by buying pot in middle of Texas. Yeah, you're doing black markets, but it's counter economics. And to conclude, stay tuned while I give you a scoop and the latest theory on counter economics, because it is a fight we must fight for our liberty, for our lives, for everything. To give me liberty or give me death, as Patrick Henry would say. And yes, you'll get the scoop. Now, this is a basic intro. Just be ready for more videos. My homework for y'all is to read Samuel Edward Konkin III and read some counter economists so we can prepare for the fight against anti-choice laws. We must fight back. We must resist. And to resist is, yes, it's going to be a hard fought battle. But think about it this way. It's only when people go against the drug war and smoke weed or whatever that we got drug criminalization. And we can't trust the politicians. They'd be like, you should have voted. You voted for Hillary. None of this will never happen. And I say no, because the Democratic Party had multiple times in majorities they could have motherfucking, sorry for this word, well, fuck it, motherfucking codify Roe vs. Wade, but the very fact workers were united that they didn't is an indictment on the Democratic Party. We cannot trust the Democratic or Republican Party. We cannot trust any party. We must boycott partyarchy. And yes, we must expropriate the expropriators. We must work around the abortion bans. We must give people resources for like doing abortions in a video game. Because I can't. Video games is really interesting. In a video game where we can help each other pay for travel expenses, or we can DIY. We can DIY abortion pills and do all this stuff against the state. So stay tuned. Everyone should just stop paying taxes and gonna work. What will the government do then? Interesting. But the government's gonna, in that theoretical video game, the government's gonna fight back. But by then, the counter economy will be so big we can push out the state. And until then, this is the black and gray market anarchist. Anarchy, Agora, action. See ya.